Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? SEL0320. Got my lovely wife Alicia here. We're about to review Eastwatch, the 5th episode of the 7th season of Game of Thrones.
That apparently only has 7 episodes. Like, look, this is not enough. You only got 2 episodes left in this season.
Yeah. I don't know if the last 2 episodes are going to be 2 hours long or a little bit more extended. I know the last episode is. I'm not sure about the last 2.
Can I say something first?
I mean, what? Go ahead.
Okay. Real talk. This is episode what? 5? This is episode 5? Honestly, like episode 4 ended with such this big like boom, boom. Episode 5 ended with the ting. That's how I feel.
Is that what you just wanted me to say?
What? What?
So, for me, there was a lot of different things that happened in this episode that it was really interesting. I think that looking at Daenerys and Jon Snow, it's evident that Daenerys is looking at Jon like, man, I really need him on my side. Like, my dragons even trust this man. But the very opening of the episode was very epic because I couldn't believe what Dany did. She decided, okay, anybody that's not been in the knee, you will be killed. Not by, like, beheading, but by burned alive. And, of course, it would be Sam's dad that she's like, well, she's not my king, even though he went and traded aside multiple times. Either way, it decides that his son and him are like, well, we're not bending the knee. They get burned alive.
That hurt. That actually hurt.
To Tyrion's dismay, like, he was like, how could you do something so terrible, you know? And him and Varys had this really interesting conversation. Like, she has to be pulled and pushed in some kind of way because she can easily go down like a slippery slope. And to me personally, I feel like the relationship she's developing with Jon, and then even with Jorah, like, I think that those are the key things to be able to help sway her one way or another, but specifically with Jon. In my personal opinion, I thought that they are playing their relationship dynamics very well in this season. In the short amount of episodes they've been in, maybe like 3 or 4 episodes they've been in together, and I can definitely see the chemistry. I can definitely see the dynamics fitting in line. But there was a lot that was going on in this episode. What else did caught your eye in this episode?
What else caught my eye? The fact that wait. The fact that Cersei is pregnant.
Do you believe that though?
Do I believe it? Yeah. I do believe it. This is why I believe it. Because
I mean, she did have sex with him in the 2nd episode.
Okay. But I also believe it because it makes sense, actually, kind of a little bit. Because, you know, Cersei's whole thing is I'm doing it for my children, I'm doing it for my children. Just gonna take my nail polish off, sorry. But she don't have no more children because they're all dead, which is so sad. But she's another child. First off, it's gonna make Jaime like cling to her even more, and then it gives her something. Like, she is her best vindictive self when she got something to fight for. So I feel like it gives her something to fight for. That makes sense.
I mean, I think I would disagree because I think that after her last child died, that's when she became a G. That's when, like, it was like, okay, I have nothing to lose. I'll watch everyone burn. It's like, I don't have to rely on this one thing that could die to get things out of the way. Like, I don't need an heir. I think, honestly, that Rion Greyjoy and her made this pact, and he's got her pregnant. Either that or she's probably... You don't know that. We didn't see it, but that doesn't mean that that's not going to happen. Well, I'm personally going to believe that she actually
So you don't think Jaime her baby daddy?
No, I don't.
First off, she is too particular about the Lannisters and who we are and who we ain't.
They all died.
But this is my point. I feel like she's too particular about the Lannister name to have a baby. That's not going to be a Lannister. I believe that's Jaime. If she's pregnant, that's Jaime baby.
I think that she feels like her children, and that witch a long time ago said that any child she has with XYZ, they're all going to die. Like, I think that she's way too superstitious to believe anything otherwise. So that's why I believe that she would go and put herself in that situation to like, all right, I have an ally now. I have someone that has stake. I have somebody that's already taking care of me. And honestly, I feel like she's going to kill Jaime. By the end of this season, I feel like...
You think she's going to kill Jaime?
I do.
You think she's going to be the one to do it?
To continue this, finish this review out, I think that the whole situation with Sam if Sam would have stayed a little bit longer, I think he would have found out some interesting genealogy about Jon Snow, and I think he would have found out some more information. But he's really impatient. I understand it. I mean, the first 2 episodes, he was going through a lot. Like, I mean, it was some gross stuff he's been having to deal with, and he's had to fight tooth and nail. But he earned his spot to the point that now the guys, the High Council, is listening to him, and I think that platformed him in a really good way at an early time. Like, I mean, it ain't been like he's been there for 10 or 15 years. He's only been there for a little bit of time, so I think that if you would have had a little bit more patience, it would have been worked out. Bran knows that the White Walkers are coming because he's using the Ravens to do that. And then the thing that's crazy to me is Arya, Sansa, and their dynamics, because they are letting Littlefinger pit them against each other, in my opinion.
Littlefinger.
And Arya, to me, should be a lot smarter.
She's not.
And I don't know why.
Because Arya knows killing. She knows this is your target, you scout them out and kill them. She doesn't understand politics and how that stuff works. Like, all she knows is, I don't like you, kill you. That's all she knows. Like, she don't know the other side about being a little bit smarter.
No.
So, anyway.
But again, I think we pretty much tackle all the different bases, but the ending to this episode, very, to me, anticlimactic in that I felt like they could have just continued the rest of the episode, continue to give us like, okay, you're going to give us to this point, show us something, you know? Like, I mean, yeah, there was 2 people that died in the beginning, yeah, and like, Littlefinger with his annoying tail has got some kind of scheme. I don't have time for Littlefinger personally. I'd rather him be dead. And then the drama with Cersei having a baby, that to me is a little, I don't know, I liked the episode. I just felt like there was things added that just didn't need to really be there. Like, I feel like they could have concentrated on Jon Snow and the White Walkers, Daenerys and her situation, what she's going to do, and then figure out how Cersei's going to accept this. I felt like that was more entertaining than anything.
Ouch!
Sorry, it was a bug. But anywho, I give this episode a 9 out of 10. This was, well, I might give it an 8.5 out of 10.
You be rating stuff real high.
I might get an 8.5 out of 10.
It's my least favorite of the season thus far.
It's yeah. But I mean, everything else has been like a 9.5 and 10 out of 10 for me personally. So for me to give it an 8.5 or a 9 is still decent. It's just, I mean, it could have been so much better. But I think that it's interesting build up for the next episode. And I'm pretty sure the last 2 episodes are probably going to be like 2 hours long.
I said, they never do us wrong for the season finale. So,
yeah.
2 weeks to the finale.
But hope y'all enjoyed.
And by then, little things gotta die.
But hopefully y'all enjoyed this review. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Talk to you guys later. Peace.